Hi, Edward Hayden here. Delighted to be showcasing the eclectic range with Carrick-Dunn, and today I am going to do for you the most amazing sweet treat. It's sweet and tart, you might say, because I'm going to do some gorgeous lemon and lime drizzle slices, which are absolutely amazing. So, what I'm going to do, it's very simple. This is a tray bake, and I think everybody in the whole world, whatever level of baking proficiency you have, I think everybody should have a recipe for a really good tray bake. So this is mine, which I'm gifting to you. So basically what I've got in my mixing bowl, I'm going to put in my butter. So I have 8 ounces, 225 grams of softened butter. I'm going to pop that in there with the same amount, 8 ounces, 225 grams of sugar. So I'm going to pop that in there. Now to that, I'm going to add some lemon and some lime. So I've just got my zester here, and I'm just going to grate a little bit of lemon and a little bit of lime. Okay, so that's our lemon and lime grated. So what I'm going to do is just tap that off gently, and then I'm going to add that to the mixture. Now, for the purposes of our garnish a little bit later on, I'm just going to keep a small little bit of that lemon and lime, but the rest of it I'm going to add straight into my mixing bowl with the butter and the sugar. Then I'm going to pop this onto the mixer, and even though your butter is nice and soft, I'm still going to allow that to beat for about 2 or 3 minutes just to get it really soft and creamy. So that's really nice and soft and creamy at this stage, and then just scrape down the mixture from the sides, and you should just get the most amazing fresh citrusy smell coming out of this even already. Even just have a little look at that, you can see the lovely flicks of lemon and lime right throughout that as well. It's absolutely really beautiful. Now what I've got then is I've got some eggs. I'm going to put in 4 eggs. Now there's always different ways. People put in an egg and a bit of flour, an egg, a bit of flour. I'm happy to put in my 4 eggs like this, and then add in my self-raising flour. So I have 8 ounces, 225 grams of self-raising flour, which I'm just going to pop in along with my 4 eggs at this stage. So in there we're going to go. Give it a little preliminary mix, and then I'm going to pop it back onto the mixer, and at this stage I'm going to beat it for about 3 or 4 minutes until a really beautiful smooth consistency has been achieved. So scrape that off, and in we're going to go for about 3 or 4 minutes now at this stage. Now, so there we have it. After the 3 or 4 minutes, you should have a gorgeous, gorgeous consistency. It's a loose-ish consistency, not as loose as like a whisked egg sponge, but again, really nice and fluffy and creamy. Pale and creamy is what you're looking for at this stage. So if I just give you a little look at what it is, you can just see, just scrape it all down again and see that lovely consistency. It's that kind of just a dropping consistency, and that'll just drop off just like so. Now, what I've got then is I've got a tin. This is an 11 by 9 tin, so it's just a nice little tray bake size. So pop that in here, all of the mixture in just like that, and again it'll only kind of take whatever shape you give it, so make sure that you spread it out really nicely. Okay, so get every last bit out of the bowl, and then I'm going to spread that out really, really nicely, just to make sure that it's gone right to the very edges. Yeah. Now don't worry about it, it will rise up nicely, so you'll get a nice overall end product. So pop that in just like so, and that's going to go into our oven. Just make sure that your oven is preheated, and I have that preheated to 180, 350 or gas mark 4, and that's going to go in there for about 20 to 25 minutes, maybe up to 30 depending on your oven. Just keep an eye on it. What you're looking for is you're looking for it to be nice and springy to the touch, and you're looking for a skewer inserted into the center to come out nice and clean to suggest that it's baked through. So pop that in. So it's just a nice little plain tray bake at this minute in time, and then I'm going to just add a few little bits and pieces to that to add some added effect. You remember earlier on we kept back a little bit of the lemon and the lime zest, so now I'm going to combine a little bit of that with some icing sugar, and then I've also got some either lemon or lime juice. The lemon is probably fine, and I'm just going to, using a sieve, I'm just going to add that in there. So just pop in. What I normally do is use the juice of half a lemon first and foremostly, and then add a little bit more as you require. It's difficult to say because sometimes you'll have lemons that are a little bit juicier than another. You could also use a little bit of boiling water if you wanted, or even if you wanted something a little bit sharper and more alcohol laden, you could use a little bit of the limoncello, which would work really nicely to combine that together. I'm just going to keep going. You see what I'm doing, and it's really important that you get a sense of this, that I'm adding the kind of the lemon juice sparingly to get the required consistency. And then when I have the required consistency, which I now have, just beat that really, really thoroughly. Now, you have two options at this stage. You can either take this lovely icing, just have a little look at that, isn't that gorgeous? Take that lovely icing now and spread it thoroughly on the top of the cake. Or probably what I like to do is I like to kind of do that more ad hoc drizzle fashion. So I'm just going to ad hoc put that over the top and let it all soak into the cake, let it drip down the sides of the cake, and this is absolutely divine, just like so. Now, really, really beautiful. Really, really beautiful, and put plenty of icing because the icing is so tart and so tangy. It's really, really tasty. Now, so that's basically that. Then what I'm going to do is I just have kept a tiny, tiny little bit of the zest left, and I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit more of that zest over the top at this stage, and then I'm going to cut it, which is the best part. So what I do, you have two choices. Sometimes if I was serving this up for a nice little garden party, I might just cut off the crusts. Now, of course, if you were to do that, we all know what those crusts would turn into. They'd turn into a little treat for the chef. But again, I'm just going to cut it into nice little fingers, okay? Almost like little kind of bars, okay? Just like so. And then I'll cut down through each of those as well. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to arrange these out onto my nice platter. Oh, they look amazing. They're absolutely jumping off of the plate, just like so. A few little edible violas, and they're absolutely glorious, just like that. So I think you'll agree that that's a really nice, tasty and beautiful option to have with a cup of tea. So as for me, I think I'm going to take these lemon and lime slices and I'm going to stick the kettle on. Enjoy.